So it turns out Atlanta Reign is a pretty good team. You know, we kind of knew that already, but this has been an extremely convincing series over Paris Eternal. Like, I thought this was actually going to be a really close one, but man, it has been one-sided the whole way through.
And now we have the answer to the eternal question, which is who would win, 6 Goatmen or 1 Dogman? And the answer is 1 Dogman.
Best in show. Best in show, man. What can you say? Dogman, the rest of Atlanta Reign, definitely looking good. We got one more map to go. You're very pleased with yourself on that.
I'm always pleased with myself, though.
That is true. The Monte Cristo way.
Why
guys.
is it different now?
I don't know. I should know this by now. I should know this by now, guys. We got a sub coming in on the Atlanta Reign. You're not going to be surprised by this at all. It's Dafran coming back in for Enlair. Enlair had a great performance on Temple of Anubis, but Dafran back in for our escort map as we look ahead towards Route 66 and see if Atlanta Reign can 4-0 Paris Eternal. Before the match began, I would not have thought I was going to say those words. But after the way these last maps went, Ilios, Hollywood, Anubis, all crushingly one-sided. Look at that, man. Paris Eternal only able to take 1 point in this series so far.
We did have a small sample size for the Paris Eternal, but obviously they looked really clean in their games. Today, it's just been all Atlanta that seems to get better match to match to match.
Yeah, I mean, small sample size, sure, but the execution was so good for Paris, and we talked about all the great things Cruz was doing, you know, but the thing is, if we're talking about it, you know all the other teams are talking about it too. So Atlanta Reign identifying exactly what they needed to do to shut down Paris, and shut down Paris they have.
Dafran here, probably not going to be coming out on that Torbjorn, but you never know. I think it's just a little spawn room shenanigans here for us to enjoy.
You know, we talk about the 4th map mattering, and it does. Game score does matter. Map differential is important, but at the end of the day, it is kind of a victory lap for some teams, and we do see silly stuff once in a while come out.
Vancouver.
I was going to say, I wasn't going to name any names, but Vancouver Titans, we're looking at you.
It's a style map, though. It's for styling on people.
Exactly. There you go. The 4th map is a style map. Here we go. Atlanta Reign on the attack. Dafran swapping back to the Zarya. Not wanting to inflict attack Torbjorn on his own team.
Really on solo queue at that point.
That's right. Yeah, I know. You've done enough to solo queue already, Dafran. Come on. Here we go. Pokpo dropping down. Benbest separated from the team again. Gets booped away. Gets back to his team, but low health. Meanwhile, Pokpo low. Masa does pay the price. And can they keep their Reinhardt out? Slow start for Atlanta in this fight initially. Payload has not moved yet.
We are going to see Masa coming back up right now. It's a good fight from Paris. They've actually really staggered this fight by drawing it out, and they will have some nice ultimates available to them. They gave some over to Atlanta as well due to the length of that engagement. Hi, Masa. I don't think you want to be here right now.
Yeah, he respawned and tried to get cute with that one. Dako looks like he might get DMX here. Cruz would love to get that. But that Zarya shield may change it. Nope, just has to boop away in the end.
Not enough damage there from the Lucio to actually pull anything through, and Atlanta actually ending up in a favorable ult economy scenario just by a little bit. So that's why Paris is backing up. They know they need to poke here from the high ground in order to even things up when it comes to those ults.
Yeah, they'll have him pretty soon, though. Soon, Cruz and Hip all on the verge of getting their ultimates. Mech back for Finzi now, so you can start building his as well. Dako already has his self-destruct, though. They're going to go in now. Self-destruct for Dako. Up on the high ground, trying to stay alive. No kills out of that one as the Transcendence comes out for Paris Eternal. Now the grab onto Atlanta. Benbest does manage to charge Masa to death, but Dafran responding with a kill onto Cruz. That said, it's still going to be a team fight win for Paris.
Yep, they are just going to charge on through here. Atlanta Reign not getting value out of those ultimates, looking a little bit more sloppy here on Route 66 after securing their win.
Yeah, I mean, you see this a lot on 4th maps, but again, Paris Eternal certainly playing out these fights a little bit cleaner than we've seen earlier in the day. It's going to be the rally from Nico as Paris tries to meet the charge of Atlanta Reign head on. Way at self-destruct, and he kills on that one. No, not quite. Really optimistic self-destruct thrown in by Finzi, not deciding to pair that with anything. They didn't have the grab, but still, I don't know why you really throw that one in there.
I'm not sure what happened there. That looked like a miscommunication.
Might have been getting low health on the mech, wanted it back, who knows? Ooh, nice shatter from Benbest. They still need that follow-up, though. Dafran down, and that's the kind of follow-up you definitely need. Ooh, Benbest off the head! Look at him follow! Everybody taking a dive.
Finzi,
oh man,
booping some prone targets. Nice play.
There's a couple
from
people,
the eternal off tank there.
You don't play on the edge of the cliff, kids. That is everybody's gonna fall off. That's dangerous.
You play on the edge, you die on the edge,
Yeah, that's right.
as it were. Atlanta now, they have matched up soon with a Graviton Surge for Dafran. As the start of this next engagement, Cruz, no sound barrier here to block a self-destruct from Dako.
Sure. Dako's certainly been finding a good few self-destructs this series. There goes Nico Dogman with a great pick early on. That's going to be a 6v5. Grab thrown in. What else do they have for it? Dafran down, though. Cruz manages to finish him up, and it's going to be all Atlanta as they clear out Paris and finally get some movement on the payload. Less than a minute remaining, but that should gain them A.
I respect what Cruz was trying to do there because he realized he was in the back line because he knew he didn't have the sound barrier to stop the combo, so you might as well try and put pressure on Dafran. Gets the kill, but unfortunately just too late. But I think that's a smart play to make in that circumstance.
They're going to speed boost their way in there to contest this one last time, but Dafran over on the Bastion, they were not expecting that. And Paris Eternal having a lot of trouble approaching it. Ooh, he has to heal. That's the thing. The Lucio damage, you take a big right click. When you're in that Bastion, you're in trouble. Grab now from Paris. Try to get the kill off of the self-destruct. Dafran does get caught by it. They lost their Bastion. Now Atlanta in a lot of trouble. They might not even be able to complete A unless they turn this fight around, and they need to do it in a hurry. We're into overtime. There goes Benbest. That's what Atlanta needed to start the comeback. They've got the sound barrier on the Paris side, though. Paris popping there as well. Atlanta, rather. Dogman down. So Paris, in the end, might be able to get it, but now we're into the bar brawl, that's for sure. Dafran on the Tracer now, trying to just find the kills he can. Can he finish off Finzi? Defense Matrix finally runs out, and he does get the kill on the mech. So Atlanta Reign barely will take point A. It's a silly map, but they keep it going.
But Dafran is saving this. He's got to deal with some respawns, though, including Nico also on a Tracer. They get it.
I think
Punch
so,
it
yeah.
through
There's
at the
A,
very
finally.
end. They couldn't delay it quite enough. Dafran, he's done this a lot. Come back on a Tracer and won fights. It's one of his unique skills as a player is being able to flex onto the Tracer and then clutch out.
Well, if you ever
some
watch
difficult situations.
If you ever watch this guy stream, you know what an incredible Tracer player
God. I mean,
he
he is
you
an
know,
amazing mechanical player.
Yeah, it really is something else. And hopefully as the league goes on, we get to see that more and more, but it's nice to get a little taste of it once in a while. Paris Eternal, now defending on the bridge. Used up all the time you could really on point A. So it was a good start for the defense for Paris. Dako throws in that self-destruct. It's a dodge. Now it's going to be Paris's turn to respond. The team really split up. There goes Cruz. Oh, and the grab eaten by Dako. He was so ready for that one. And Atlanta Reign completing the cleanup now. Pokpo a little bit low. Hops away for some healing, and that's going to be a nice little stagger onto Finzi. Wow, great grab eaten by Dako there.
I mean, throughout their 3 matches, Paris gets a lot of grabs eaten. So it's one thing I think they really need to work on is making sure that Soon gets the clean grabs off, because it's happened several times in this match, and that is not an aberration when we look at their other games as well.
Sure. Back onto the payload they go. Charge onto Pokpo. Benbest finds him. Now they've got the sound barrier to advance on this. Finzi just waiting for a chance to use that self-destruct. We will see. He has to wait out Dogman's Transcendence. And it looks like Atlanta just going to back off for a second. They've got a bit more time to regroup here.
And Amasa just checking around the corner right there.
Yep.
Doesn't get caught out, though, by Nico's Diva. He is able to get away, and that sound barrier is the only ultimate online for the Reign.
Sure.
May take a couple of pushes, but they don't have much time. They've got 1 push left.
Pretty much. Benbest, ooh, Shatter doesn't hit anybody. The shields were up. Now the sound barrier for Atlanta. They're going to return fire here. It's going to be Hip again with his Transcendence. Try to keep people alive. Another Dako self-destruct. No kills out of that one either, but now the follow-up from Atlanta. They're going to get Benbest in the grab. A lot of kills from that one, and that's going to be a clean fight win again from Atlanta.
That was ridiculously sloppy ult management from the Paris Eternal. They got no value out of basically any of the ults that they had. Atlanta just played back. They had plenty of time to get to the payload, and now another shot here for the Atlanta Reign. They should never have had that chance.
That's the thing. It's Atlanta Reign coming out of the gate on this map on their attack, looking really lackadaisical in general, just looking frankly like they just didn't care. And here they are pushing into C despite all that. Paris Eternal certainly falling apart a little bit here. You can tell Masa just keeping an eye on Cruz.
I think they did a good job of forcing the sound barrier from Atlanta, but then they couldn't follow up with any of their support ults.
There's a shatter from Pokpo. Masa manages to get the kill here. Now it's all Dafran. He's got the charge, he's got the damage. and Atlanta has the kills to push ahead again. And we're getting into the territory where Paris is only going to have maybe one more chance to really stop this before they're just trickling respawns in.
Yeah, they've got to poke this out too. So it should be just a game of touch the payload, try and delay it.
Yep.
But they need to poke out the rest of their ult charge, which is getting very close. Soon going to go for the grab immediately.
All right, a grab again. That's right, trapping him on top of the truck. Not a lot of kills coming out of that one. Back 0. Poke. Watching out, Dako, there's his self-destruct. Okay, Finzi down. Dafran gets him when he's out of his mech. Stun meanwhile. Nico down. Poke with that. Oh, wow, the sound barrier comes in for Paris at just the right time. They've got a shot. They've got Popo separated, but Nico goes down. Now Dafran turning this one around again. Full charge on that Zarya. What can you do? How did Popo live? Cruz dead again, and that's going to be Atlanta Reign closing this out. They actually do it before overtime even begins. That was a ridiculous round.
It was ridiculous, though, and I think Paris had the right idea. By using the grab early, they were hoping to charge the rest of their ultimates, but they were just a little bit short of getting them online in time.
Well, it seemed like when they used theirs, then Atlanta threw out their ultimate as their grab as well. You're trapped on top of the truck. You're not really getting that damage that you were hoping.
I mean, it's hard in this meta, Doa, because when you're behind in that ult economy, sometimes you just have to take risks to try and bustle your way back into it. Paris, unfortunately, couldn't get it done.
Well, it's got to be rough for Paris Eternal after looking so strong in your first 2 matches. Now just getting kind of bodied here against Atlanta Reign.
Yeah, it's certainly something I think nobody really reasonably expected coming into today.
Yeah.
But all the credit to Atlanta because they are playing a hell of a match.
I felt like this one would be close. I felt like Paris looked really, tight with their 3-3, and that was going to be a challenge for Atlanta to overcome. It was a tough one to predict, but Atlanta just they're taking that skill that we saw in their earlier matches and combining it with extremely good preparation is what seems like was the key in the end to really kind of wrecking Paris Eternal here.
Yeah, and that's very interesting. Atlanta would become the first team to get 2 straight sweeps this season.
That says a lot. It's tough to get the 4-0s.
It's harder than, definitely harder than last season. We saw a lot of 4-0s last season. This season it has dialed down a bit as we've had a little bit more parity in the league, whether that's because of the meta or because of the teams themselves remains to be seen.
It's a long season, Monty. You've got plenty of time to figure that out as things go on. Atlanta Reign on the defense now. Paris Eternal on the attack, rushing up onto the high ground there. Oh, but they knock Soon down. Finzi has to go down to try to protect him. That leaves Nico exposed on the right side, nearly no health remaining. Soon barely makes it out. Great save from Finzi, actually, to get in there with the defense matrix.
Yeah, it's tough, though, because when you get split off like that, really causes problems for the 3-3 compositions. And now forces Paris to back all the way up just to reunite with their tanks.
Sure enough, now getting aggressive again. Onto Atlanta. Dako, though, manages to get the kill onto Hip. Ursa with another one, Soon separated, eliminated. Finzi just going to take a dive as Paris resets. So great defensive start from Atlanta.
Yeah, big ult advantage as a result of that separation too. Even though they didn't get an elimination, they got priority and they got a lot of damage dealt to the tank line.
Yeah, now Dako doesn't have his mech, so this is a chance for Paris to be aggressive and push forward before he gets his D.Va suit back.
Yeah, that's why we're going to see Atlanta just play more passively until they get the D.Va. They know they can't take this fight.
Yep, sure enough. And Cruz getting really close to that sound barrier, too. They're going to have those support ultimates online soon. There's the grab now from Atlanta Reign. Can they get the kills before the support ultimates come out? They do. They kill Cruz right as the sound barrier comes online. And that was just spectacular timing from Atlanta, knowing that little window to work in there and win the fight.
For a mixed language roster, looks like Atlanta's communication is pretty good because the instant Dako got his mech back, that's when Dafran hit that grab. It was basically perfect timing.
I mean, Atlanta kind of reminds me of Philly Fusion 2.0 in terms of you got this team with a lot of people from all over the place, but they seem to just have this natural synergy that's really doing them well so far.
Yeah, got to agree with you. They're looking at like a breakout team, exceeding a lot of people's expectations coming into the season.
All right, self-destruct time. Get's going to draw the sound barrier out of Paris Eternal. Cruz using it early. Ben Best gets a kill onto Urster. So Paris doing the right thing, getting aggressive with that one, and that's going to be a team fight win. They're finally going to get some movement on this payload here. As Pokpo finally eliminated. That's the team kill. A lot of delay from Atlanta.
They see the self-destruct coming in, protect themselves with the sound barrier, and they just jump right on top of the front line there. Cruz managed to get some boop back into the main roster.
Yeah, if it's just a self-destruct by itself and you have the defensive ultimates, you can just get aggressive.
You just run forward.
Yep, exactly. No grab to hold you up. Pokpo bounced off. That's going to be a little bit of an early transcendence maybe from Dogman. We'll see if they can follow it up. They do. Pokpo finds Cruz actually in the back. Soon responding with this grab. Oh, and Dogman saved by the sound barrier from Masa. Oh, Finzi with the double kill. No protection from that one, as the support ultimates were pretty much down already. Masa gets one on Nico on the way out. So Atlanta Reign striking back a little bit, but still looking like Paris is going to move the payload.
Yeah, and excellent self-destruct timing, right? You see that sound barrier come out, then you have that opportunity to just throw the later self-destruct when the barrier, the overshield is already ticking away, and make sure that you get the final eliminations with that damage.
That's right. Dropping down from the bridge, our Atlanta Reign. Pokpo diving in early. There's the grab. Oh, kills immediately coming in. I mean, again, it's a situation where there just weren't any support ultimates to protect Paris when they got so many people caught in the grab.
And you know, this might be a full hold, Doa.
Could be.
Got 30 seconds. Paris is going to have a rally, maybe a shatter, and most likely that Graviton Surge, but they won't have any protection. And Dako, if he's trying to get his ult charge right now, because if he can get it, he can delay this push.
He's really close.
That was actually a really smart move
to
just try and get that last few percent so he can throw his self-destruct on the approach, but he's not going to get it.
Well, he should have it now.
Okay, he's going to get it. Where is it?
Right.
He's not self-destructing yet.
Not yet. You can just kind of do it in the payload after OT, too. It's going to be a grab now from Paris. Can they follow it up? We'll see. Pokpo drops the Earth Shatter. Not a lot of suns, but the counter shatter comes in, gets blocked as well from Paris. Now we're brawling on the payload. Into overtime we go. It's going to be Transcendence, but Dako loses his mech early. I don't know if the self-destruct came out either. It was a bit rough. Ben Best knocked around, but it's going to be Paris winning the fight in the end. That was a kind of a little bit of a bizarre engage there, but Paris taking advantage of the chaos.
I mean, I think they just got that self-destruct just a little bit too late to set up the play that they had in mind. Looks like they tried to throw it inside Big Earls there on the other side of the Graviton Surge.
Sure, yeah, I didn't see that one. Paris with another couple minutes to try to push this payload now. But you're going to be doing everything from a time disadvantage, and that didn't end up mattering for Atlanta Reign in the end. They still finished it, but Paris hasn't been looking quite as good so far today.
Yeah, they have not.
It's going to be a tough thing to recreate, I think. Here we go, another grab. Jumping in the back, Defran with a lot of damage coming in. That's going to be the sound barrier from Cruz. They're going to chain that into a kill on a Pokpo and Defran as the counter aggression comes out from Paris. Being efficient with those ultimates, too, is really going to help them a lot on point B. Atlanta Reign is kind of scrambling here.
Yeah, that's
about it.
That's a mistake from Masa, though. You don't want to throw in the sound barrier that late. Like, you already lost your opportunity because of their own sound barrier. You went in, lost a couple of your players, and now, trying to get up on top there.
One more time. On the boost. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Number 2. Zarya finally on top, staring down a couple of tank players on the side of the Atlanta Reign.
And do a little bit of damage to that Rhine barrier. That never hurts. A lot of ultimates for Paris Eternal. Online, they've actually got a good shot to win a fight and take B here. They're going to go in with the rally first. Pokpo responds with the shatter. It doesn't hit anybody with it. It's going to be the trance coming in from Paris. Now soon waiting for a chance to use that grab. Oh, Cruz down early. Erster found him. Got him with the whip shot in the end. A lot of members of Paris, or of Atlanta rather, and Paris going to clean that one up. They had the ultimates and they put them to good use. That's going to be B.
Yeah, Paris coming out a lot stronger on this map. Again, Atlanta down some key ultimates. They haven't been able to use their support ults very efficiently on this Paris Eternal attack. 2 minutes to get to the end of this map.
Atlanta did it. We'll see if Paris can, but point C on Route 66 is definitely one of the toughest out there. Atlanta trying to hold this corner here.
Oh, they isolated soon.
Yeah, they did a little bit. Oh, the shadow gets booped away. Tries to save Dogman, but he can't quite do it. Hip gets a kill anyway. Defran, though, responds with a kill on the Reinhardt, arguably a bit more valuable.
I mean, that was well played by both teams. Ben Best realized that everybody was split off, so that they had a chance there to actually get the shatter to keep Soon alive. He succeeds.
Here we go. Now Defran has that Graviton Surge as Paris pushes forward. Minute 24 on the clock. They got to get it done fast. There's a rally from Erster. Atlanta Reign drops a grab, doesn't get eaten. Damage coming in. There's a charge from Pokpo onto Soon, trying to lead to a few more kills. They're going to dedicate the sound barrier to it as well to try to stay durable. Dako half health, but he's okay. That's going to be a team fight win for Atlanta.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean, the charge there pushes Soon out of the Transcendence, gives them the opportunity to get the instant damage to eliminate the Zarya. Picking up the most valuable target. Now you have a nearly full charge Dafran on the defense with a really big advantage. Cruz.
He's nearly halfway to his ultimate again.
Yep, Cruz there coming in with a sound barrier, and soon going to be poking here, trying to get that charge up, as well as the Graviton Surge so they can make this next engagement.
Just about 30 seconds remain for Paris Eternal to try to tie up this map and at least come away from this series with something. Dako just parks the self-destruct on top, takes out that Reinhardt barrier, and that's going to be the Shatter right after that. They knew it, but the grab comes in. No kills out of that one, but it does prevent them from following up. Now the Shatter countered. Paris comes out with theirs. Ben Best setting up a kill for Cruz, and Atlanta Reign trying to turn this fight around now as we go down to the final 10 seconds for Paris's attack. Ben Best, nice fire strike onto Poco to finish him off. A rally from Erster, sound barrier. The people that are left, at least, are super durable for Atlanta, but they need the damage, they need the kills here.
And they have no damage, that's the problem. They use those support ultimates, but there's no way for them to actually get eliminations. Now we have the Reinhardt and the Zarya back for Atlanta.
Dafran is back, that's right, and he's getting near another grab. If he can build it up, maybe they can turn this fight around, but there goes Poco. The Reinhardt down again. Paris Eternal still trying to struggle forward here. The payload moving, but Atlanta with time to regroup. They've got time for Masa and Pokpo to get back.
Nico still manages to get armor on absolutely everybody for this next attack with the rally. Won't be draining off for a little while yet.
Yep. Paris's last chance, Atlanta's last chance if they want to get that 4-0 here as well. There's Finzi with the self-destruct. Soon really, really low. Ben Best down as well. Dako, though, did get caught by Finzi's self-destruct. Ooh, nice Earth Shatter coming in from Popo, and that's going to seal the deal. Atlanta Reign will take the 4-0 over Paris Eternal.
Statement win for Atlanta. This is going to change a lot of people's minds. It's changed my mind about the Atlanta Reign coming into this match.
Me too. Man, me too. I gotta say, we knew that Atlanta had that raw skill. You know, we knew that Paris had that clean play, but Atlanta really proved something in this match. They proved that not only can they have that, you know, individual talent and that natural synergy, but they can actually turn that into very, very well thought out preparation for these teams, and arguably a very strong team that they just faced and beat pretty easily.
Yeah, I think it was smart of them to try that Junk Orisa Widow defense on Anubis Hay, because they know that Paris is primarily a 3-3 team, and if you can force them into something outside of their comfort zone, you might take a win.
Yeah. So Paris still 2-1 overall, looking vulnerable. It's all Atlanta today. Let's send it down to Mika, who's got Masa, our Lucio hero, standing by.
Thanks, guys. I got Masa here, and he is player of the match, so congratulations. That's awesome. I know that everybody was hype in the audience. I know that we were hype backstage to watch you and Dafran pull off an amazing Zarya Lucio play on Hollywood. It was so cool to watch. We actually have it up there on screen so you can watch it again. Can you just walk us through, like, who came up with that? Was it a coach? Was it you?
I think we actually saw it on someone else do it on Reddit first. And we just like, that. If we can pull that off in game, it's gonna be so cool. So we just went for it.
I love that. You got it from Reddit. Well, you guys have taken down what lots of people consider to be one of the best 3-3 teams in the league. So are you taking this confidence and looking forward towards stage playoffs?
Yeah, it's like, we were kind of surprised at how they played 3-3. It wasn't like anything we expected. They had a really different play style, and I think we just managed to abuse it like really well.
Well, congratulations. Yes, you did. And we're all proud of you, and continue reigning on. And that's all we have here. Back to the casters.
Thank you, Mika. There you go. Masa, our player of the match, sponsored by Omen by HP. And what a well-deserved player of the match that was.
Absolutely, played great.
Masa putting on a show, man. That was a Lucio clinic. It was great. So on top of that, let's take a look at the stage 1 standings. Now, Reign, 3rd place still, of course. They moved actually from 4th to 3rd in that situation. Eternal dropping down to 6th as they go to 2-1 and have a negative differential overall.
Yeah, very interesting.
What a change.
Paris Eternal, though, they still have a lot of matches to bring it back. That one loss is not really necessarily going to affect their stage playoff performances because they've only been having that one match a week so far, and their schedule gets heavier the deeper we get into stage 1.
Yeah, true enough. Still a lot to look forward to for both of these teams, especially Paris Eternal. But let's review that match. Of course, we saw Soon on that Bastion, and it looked for a little bit like this was actually going to work. They were doing a really good job of keeping him alive.
Yeah, I mean, it did, but eventually the Atlanta Reign were able to crack it. I still think it was a good defense by Paris, and I like their planning, but Paris was not willing to switch over to a dive composition to dislodge the hard point on the high ground here of the Widow, the Orisa, and of course, the Junkrat.
Oh, it hurts to see Erster with those concussive mines, and then of course, this was a great tire, man. He did this all the way from spawn, and of course, Nico and Benbis, just, you can't tell where it's coming from sometimes. Easy double kill, and a crucial one too for them in that round. Route 66 got a little bit sillier, but in the end, it was still Atlanta that came out with the win, and Dafran getting a chance to pull out that Tracer, something we always enjoy seeing.
Yeah, and especially anytime he has a chance to shot his... It's just so amazing how fast he can crack. Like, if you just look at the game from his perspective on Tracer, it is astounding that he can do that.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the only people in the league that he can pull out the Tracer, and you're like, I agree with this pick in this meta. That's fine. I understand. Him and Hotba, I'm okay with it, you know? That's about it. But in the end, it was, again, more great plays with Boops setting up self-destruct kills. Of course, we've seen a lot of that lately, but Atlanta just seeming to outplay Paris in every category that we thought Paris was one of the best teams at.
Yeah, Paris at the end, at least I can say that their ult sequencing looked more on point in that fourth and final map, but
sure thing.
You know, you already lost at that stage, and it still wasn't enough to overcome Atlanta Reign, even to take one map. So
based on that, though, then I mean, this seems like kind of a silly question, but do you think Atlanta Reign is a contender for possible stage finals?
Based on that performance, I think it was really impressive. I think they had a good read on the tendencies of their opponent. I think they took a lot of risks, which, as we get deeper into the stage, you're going to have to take risks, like we saw strategically, if you want to be a champion of stage one. I think that's just it. You need to take risks to defeat the 3-3 composition. And I've been saying that the whole time, and I'm glad Atlanta is pulling it off.
There you go. Well,
I feel vindicated.
Great first match. Monty feels vindicated. We've got Florida versus Houston coming up on the Overwatch League. Guys, that's going to be a sick match as well. Don't go anywhere. Quick break. We'll be back with another sick set of games.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.